Sports have always captivated our hearts, but their evolution into a powerful asset class is a relatively recent phenomenon. Once viewed solely through the lens of entertainment, sports are now recognized as a dynamic investment sector. This transformation is driven by several factors, including soaring media rights deals, lucrative sponsorship agreements, and the unwavering loyalty of fans worldwide. As a result, astute investors are increasingly recognizing the immense potential of this evolving market. Few individuals embody the spirit of sports investment better than Brett M. Johnson. As the founder and CEO of Benevolent Capital, Johnson has carved a unique niche for himself in the world of sports ownership. Brett M. Johnson assembled a foundation of local investors, shareholders, and board members. In 2021, he assembled and led the investment syndicate that acquired Ipswich Town FC. Mr. Johnson founded Rhode Island FC with former MLS player Michael Parkhurst. Recognizing the importance of state-of-the-art facilities in the success of sports franchises, Mr. Johnson has invested in the development and enhancement of sports venues, contributing to both the overall fan experience and enhancing revenue generation for the club. Mr. Johnson announced the development of a $137 million soccer stadium and mixed-use real estate development in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, called Tidewater Landing, which is scheduled for completion in 2025. Johnson's journey is a compelling narrative of identifying undervalued assets in the sports world and transforming them into profitable ventures. Up next, listen to Brett M. Johnson discuss the importance of sports as an asset class. Don't miss this insightful perspective.
As I like to say, I'm positively obsessed with sustainability, especially in sport, with sports investing. And said differently, I think a great deal of sports investing is what I'll call not sustainable. There are too many clubs that are losing too much money that don't necessarily have a pathway to change that trajectory. And so when it comes to my focus in the States, particularly in Rhode Island, the stadium becomes a very important asset class. The surrounding real estate becomes very important in terms of multifamily, retail, other things that you can build, stabilize, and cash flow. I think over time, what I like about USL is the ability to develop players and to look at literally moving them to bigger and better clubs. I think USL is candidly got the potential to be the best development league in the world. So I spent all my time just trying to figure out the sustainability of sports investing. And you know, going back to Ipswich, now that we're in the Premier League, that's in terms of equity valuation, it's staggering. In terms of revenue, the multiple in terms of what we're going to increase from where we are in championship is staggering. So I view I'm in the stadium business now with the Rhode Island Stadium. So I'm very interested in rectangular sports. There's so many different ways to turn the turnstile. And I think if done right, and I intend that we'll do it right, that stadium is going to be an incredible asset, not just for Rhode Island, I'd say for kind of Southern New England. When I raised money for Rhode Island FC, investors needed to put $1 into the team and $1 into the stadium. And so we aligned the ownership interests so that it can effectively maximize the ability, one, to get the stadium financed, and then two, is it just make sure that, again, whatever makes the most sense for the broader ownership group, we have the flexibility to be able to structure that. So if it makes sense for us to put certain, bookings of revenue, if you will, rightly so, onto the stadium, because, who knows, like Major League Rugby decides they're going to expand to Rhode Island and they want a franchise and an ownership group needs a good place to play. I would expect we would be receiving that phone call. At some point, stadium as an asset class becomes very, very valuable. And building the stadium in Rhode Island was critical because relative to what I'll call my business plan, is because I view that asset as so integral to the overall success, first and foremost, of the men's soccer team, but over time, in terms of so many different ways for us to monetize it.